So I was gonna do a nice little photo shoot of the Silverado, and then California was like, nah. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. So today, as you guys can see, it's raining pretty good, and the majority of the rain is just kind of chilling on the surface. We don't have any type of protection on this wrap right now, which means the wrap is very porous, which means everything just wants to either sit on top of it or soak right into it, which obviously is not ideal. And that goes for pretty much anything, not paint so much because that clear coat is what helps it not be so absorbent, but wrap in particular is very porous. It's very susceptible to damage from either bird droppings or whatever the rain picks up on its way down is usually either acidic or at least very abrasive. So that being said, this wrap is in desperate need of some protection. So we're gonna be doing a ceramic coating on all of the wrap, all the painted stuff, and possibly even the wheels today as well. But these things do need a polish because they're looking a little bit weathered. Like, all this probably wouldn't stick too well if it was coated. Everything is just grabbing onto the wrap. It doesn't rain very often in California, so the grounds are just covered in muck. Every time it rains, the tires just kick all that stuff up. Look at the side of my truck right now. I mean, this is from one little quarter-mile trip here from the house, and all this is just stuck to the side of the wrap. Combined with the sun and letting it sit for a long time, that will never come off. So we're gonna give this truck a good rinse, prep the surface, give it a good ceramic coating, and give this truck the protection that it needs. Ceramic coatings serve a ton of function, but the most fun one is the fact that it makes it super hydrophobic. So as you can see right here, all the water is just sticking to the surface. A ceramic coated surface doesn't let anything stick to it, especially water. All the water just runs away. The reason why that's so important is because you don't want anything sitting on the surface for a long period of time that might cause damage, especially combined with the sun. Therefore, you want the surface to be as repellent as possible, but anything that is left behind blows off or rinses right off with water, which is amazing, and it makes washing it a breeze. It makes it nearly effortless to dry it, which is what you want, because you want to be as contactless as possible when it comes to drying, because that's where the majority of that damage comes from, either improper drying techniques or picking up micro contaminants that you can't even see that over time will micro mar the surface. All good things come from a ceramic coating. Let's get this thing home, prep it, and get her coated. Oh my gosh, look at that wrap. What? That's so sick. First, time to prep the truck for the ceramic coating. Prepping the wrap for a ceramic coat is going to be a lot more straightforward than prepping, say, a paint job. Prepping the paint job for a ceramic coating involves a lot more steps, such as claying, compounding, polishing, removing the compound and the polish. Obviously, we don't need to do a clay job or a polish on the wrap. That would just ruin it. That being said, pretty much all this needs is a good wipe down, and we can get right to it. Ceramic coating the wrap is my main priority today before moving on to anything else, such as the wheels or even the roof. Ceramic coating companies such as G Technique and R1 Coatings have both a professional line and then a consumer level line, like the Crystal Serum Light. You can buy this on Amazon. They also have Crystal Serum Ultra. That requires being a certified installer, taking a class, and all that. R1 Coatings, same thing. R1 Coatings has Street, then they have Pro. So the Pro requires you to take a certification class in order to acquire some of this. So the main difference, in my experience at least, between professional and consumer level is that the professional series are a little more concentrated. Consumer level stuff is a little easier to wipe off the excess residue. I've done dozens and dozens of cars and trucks with the Crystal Serum Light from Gtechniq, and that water still beads like crazy 2.5 to 3 years later. I highly recommend this stuff right here. I'll have this linked in the description below. Pick up some of this stuff. If it's even your first time, it's really easy to do. But this stuff right here, I have a lot of experience with ceramic coatings, so this is no problem for me to install. They're both great products, but this one's probably a little more concentrated. So what we're gonna need is a couple of microfiber towels, a microfiber applicator pad. This works way better than the sponges they provide you, some gloves, and a respirator. So the main idea when it comes to applying ceramic is the whole wax on, wax off mentality. So basically what you're doing is you're applying the ceramic, letting it flash, which takes somewhere between 20 to 45 seconds depending on the weather. It's really cold today, so probably somewhere between 30 and 40 seconds. When it starts to flash, then you want to remove the residue with your microfiber towel. Try this first in an inconspicuous area to get a feel for how long it'll take for it to flash before I try it on an area where you can really see it and leave streaks everywhere. I'll try it down there on the lower part of the bedside. So I saw the ceramic starting to flash probably about 25 seconds in. At that point, I removed the excess residue using my first microfiber towel, following up with the second one just to make sure I got all the streaks off. You can see a difference between this area here that's coated and the area that's not. This part looks way more satin than the uncoated surface. That looks so sick. All right, let's do the rest of the bedside. So I just finished out coating all the wrap. That was the main priority for tonight. Then tomorrow I can finish out doing the paint correction on the roof, coating the roof, and then polishing out the wheels and coating those too. That'll be tomorrow. In the meantime, the coating does need to cure overnight. It takes about 24 hours for it to fully cure. In the meantime, it can't get wet. That's kind of the only thing. It is raining outside, so the truck is staying in the garage, and we can get right back at it tomorrow. And we are back. So it's actually been 2 days since the ceramic coating was installed, and now the truck's absolutely covered in pollen. But since the surface is coated, watch this. And just like that, good as new, dude. That feels like the wrap was hand dipped in butter. I'm gonna do a little paint correction and polish using my DA polisher, my microfiber cutting pad, the black pad, and the orange pad, starting with the clay bar to remove all those surface contaminants that are stuck to the paint. Then we'll move on to the paint correction and the polishing using the Ultra Cut compound from Meguiar's and the Ultra Finishing Polish as well. So this right here I'll use with the microfiber cutting pad. This one right here has the most aggressive cut of these three. This does a really good job at removing pretty much, or at least most of those surface imperfections. Then to perfect it and give it a nice shine, we'll move on to the orange pad and some polish, and then top it off with the black pad and some polish as well. That should be the perfect combination to remove most of those imperfections on the roof and just make it nice and shiny again. This line right here represents your imperfect paint. Now what we want to do is use the microfiber cutting pad to shave down all those imperfections up top right here. So what that's going to do is cut down all of those imperfections, making it nice and flat like that. That's how you get a nice, deep, rich shine. So you can hear the difference before a clay bar, how rough it is, versus after, smooth. Like even the stuff you can't see comes up with the clay bar. So it's definitely an important step, because anything you don't pick up now is gonna get caught up in the polishing pad and you're gonna swirl it right back in the paint. So this is a very important step before polishing paint. That looks 1,000 times better already with 2 passes from the microfiber cut without polish. Just like that, all the compound and polishing is done. Paint's looking like glass. Now I'm gonna hit it with some wax and grease remover to remove all of the polishing residue.
This stuff smells absolutely horrendous, so I always mask up when I'm doing the prep spray.
So the ceramic's been on for about 30 seconds. You can see it starting to haze and turn a rainbowish color. That's when it's time to buff it off. So I have a little tip for you do-it-yourselfers at home. So when you're removing the ceramic, take your microfiber towel and use figure-8 motions. That's how you get the cleanest finish. Don't go left and right or up and down, because all you're doing is pushing all the ceramic into one place and leaving it there. And then when you're done with that panel, take the towel and slide it off the edge. Clean. And just like that, everything's been coated, all the wrap, the wheels, the paint on the roof, everything's been done. Now, one thing to note is the flash time is a lot faster on the wrap than it is on, say, the wheels or the roof, the painted surfaces, glass, anything else you're coating aside from wrap. Because wrap is so absorbent, you have to get it off a lot quicker. So I had it sit on there for about 20 seconds the other day when it was really cold. Any other day like today, it's mid 70s, I'd have it sit on there for maybe like 10 seconds, pretty much buff it on and remove it right away. So essentially, by the time I'm done installing the ceramic on the panel, by the time I get to the end, this part is already ready for removal. So by the time I'm done laying it on the panel, it's already ready to be buffed off, because wrap absorbs it a lot quicker. It soaks into it a lot faster than it does the paint. I'd say it's about that time we pull it outside and check it out in the direct sunlight. Dude, this thing looks so, I can already see it. It's gonna look so nice now. The satin finish isn't affected by ceramic coatings. It doesn't change the look of it, but it definitely enhances that satin finish. Let's not go anywhere crazy though, because I just coated the wheels and the roof. Don't wanna get those dirty or wet, but how about some drone shots? Well, scratch that idea, because for some reason the drone won't connect. Maybe it's for a reason though, because the last couple of times I flew out here, I crashed the drone into a tree. So finally got the Z71 decals on the bedside, and I think it looks sick. It gives the truck more of kind of like a natural sort of OEM look, which could almost kind of be mistaken for like a premium finish, I guess. Obviously this truck doesn't come factory with a satin basalt gray paint job or a wrap at that. But if you don't know, then you don't know, I guess. Man, I cannot get over how smooth to the touch the wrap is now. If you guys have ever touched a wrap, especially a satin or a matte, it feels very grainy. It's very gripping. This feels like butter. It's crazy how like slick it is. Whoever invented this witchcraft is a genius, and I hope they made billions. Now for the fun part. My favorite feature about ceramic coating is the hydrophobic behaviors of it. Check this out. How sick is that? all the water runs away. Water hates ceramic coating. How sick is that? Look at that, it's all on the ground. It's really easy to ceramic coat really anything. Where the challenge comes into play is prepping the paint. Paint correction, polish, getting the paint as perfect as you can possibly get it before locking it in with the ceramic coating is the most labor intensive portion, which is why if you were to go and get a quote for a ceramic coating, it is not out of the ordinary to have that reach 4 digits for everything, including paint correction, the preparation, and the ceramic coating itself. But that is all I have for you guys today. As always, hope you guys enjoyed. I will catch you guys on the next one. Till then, peace out.